Our PA system, we're going to use it. How about that? Maybe we're going to hear us. Well, this is the time of the year where we close out and we say a few things about the children, and we get all emotional. Before I get into the trophies, I have to truly say, I want to say thank you to all the parents. Y'all have been truly amazing to put up with me. And to put up with Coach Marcus. You have been truly amazing to put up with me. And kids, y'all have really been amazing to put up with me. So I want to thank all of y'all first and foremost for a great season. Secondly and most importantly, I want you to take what you learned this year, guys, and don't just let it go in vain. You know, one thing I can tell you a quick story about number 34 on the Ravens team, Pep. You know, everybody know who he is. He's a phenomenal football player. He started when he was 4 years old with Marcus. And the first 3 years that he played with Marcus, just got beat up bad, you know. I mean, he really had to go through the struggle with guys that were really talented, that were just bigger than him. And now what you see is a product of about 5 years of hard work. So what you see in 34 on the field for the Ravens, it didn't just come yesterday, guys. That's a process. But let me tell you something that's so interesting about the kid. I was speaking to his grandmother at the game, at the Saints game, and after we beat the Saints and the Ravens were playing, and I asked her, I said, you know, Pep is an amazing kid. I said, you know, what does he do that's so important that gets him so prepared for the game? And she said, well, every week he picks out somebody from the NFL and he watches them. Whether it be Barry Sanders, whether it be Emmitt Smith, whether it be somebody from the NFL or college team, and he tells his grandfather, he says, I want to watch them because I need those moves when I go play football. And if you think about that, that's pretty cool for an 8-year-old to say. You know, let me sit down and watch some film of somebody else so I can mimic the same moves and use them against kids that I play against. So guys, I say that to say this. I can teach you all day long football. I can get you strong, and I can motivate you. Coach Marcus can do the same thing. But to take your game to the next level, you got to have the mentality like a Pep. You got to want it, Kobe. It's there for you to have. You just got to want it. You know, my biggest thing is you know, video games. I don't like them. A lot of parents like them. Y'all, you know, you think they're cool. And that's great. I don't knock them. But when I grew up, we didn't have them. My mama said you go outside and play. You know, and that was the way we did it. You know, the way I got my juke moves, it wasn't from the video game. It was because we played throw-up football in the street, and you had to get away from the dude. Yep. And that's how you got your skill. You didn't get it on the football field. You got it on the street, you know, and that's how we got it. You know, and that's how a lot of the kids in the inner city, in the urban areas, that's how they get so good as well. Because they don't have the type of things that you have these days. I'm not knocking your video games, but what I am saying is this. It's time out for playing so many games inside the house and get back outside and start playing some games outside of the house. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Because you know what that's going to do for you? That's going to keep you in shape. That's going to keep you motivated. That's going to keep you moving. But just going home, getting on the snacks, guys, and playing the video games, let me tell you something, that ain't going to work. And Coach Sam would be, you know, that would be bad for me to sit here and tell you to do that. I want to see you go to the next level. Appreciate that. I want to see you go to the next level. Right? And parents, help them out. Because you buy it. Don't get no amen. I ain't trying to preach church to you, you know. But you buy it, you know, you bring it home, you know. So I just say you help them. I seen you come together this year collectively as parents, man, and y'all were willing to do whatever it took for us to get to where we needed to go. Just continue to do that for them. Continue to do that for them. I'm going to try to get everybody I can again next season. I'm still in the air, Monique, with the travel ball, but my heart is with Columbia County Rec. This is where I believe I'll end up. I'm going to try to see if I can get my assistant coach to come with me. And we're going to see if we can try to do it again, you know, in the fall. You know, let's take the same group of kids and let's try to go and get a championship. I told you, man, nothing less than a championship, right? You made it there your first year, so you got to just continue to excel from there. Second year, we can do it. I believe we can do it in the same year. We just got to go do it in the fall. We can make it happen. I'm ready. I just need you to be ready. All right, here we go. Starting with the trophies this season, we'll start with, and I always try to say a little something about each kid. Let's start with this guy. All right. We'll start with this kid. And I usually try to give a little clue, and everybody, you kind of figure it out. But I'll say this kid right here had one of the biggest hits, probably his only hit. But it was so amazing that it made up for everything else for the whole entire season. And it actually took us to the championship, believe it or not. And we're going to call Kevin Castillo. There she is. There she is over there. I knew that. All right. Good job. Good job. What a kid to come to now at a great time. I like to call this kid a sleeping giant, a mini giant. And this kid right here, let me finish. He started out with me, and I had high hopes for him to be a quarterback, and I still do. We ended up getting shaky. I think I put a little too much on him in the beginning. It was a new role. It's his first year in football, and I think it was a bit much for him, and he got overwhelmed. And it's my fault. Not saying that he couldn't handle it. It's just a lot for an 8-year-old kid to have to handle. But we decided to do something different with him, not knowing that that he would definitely be a dynamite superstar and where we put him. Incredible, small, but big heart in this giant, and we want to call Jared Daly. With a firm handshake. Yeah. But I'm shaking. Right, nice, man. Yeah, man. This kid here. I just had a parent tell me today. We were sitting over at the table, Mr. Hart, look, we were looking at it, and he said, my God, if this kid ever figures out his strength and his abilities, that the game of football is going to be in trouble, I believe, in his age group. I told you from day one that we would not lose another game once this kid started playing. We cut his switch on, and man, we went straight to the top. And I know you know who it is. I like to call him like Marcus called him from the Ravens, that number 51. We like to call Matthew up. Come on, man. Oh, you get your picture? Did you get it? You got it? Good. Come on now. This is our bully of the team right here. We'll go ahead and start with that. And Cheryl named him this. I have to give it to Cheryl. Cheryl named him this because when we sit down and watch the film at home, we would sit down and watch the film, and every time the kids he would tackle somebody when they try to get up, he'd push them back on the ground. He wouldn't let them get up. And you can see it on the film, you know, and it's just like, wow. And Cheryl was like, man, he's such a bully, man. Every time he would push him right back on the ground, like, don't even get up. You know, so, yeah. So, in all fun, let's call up Mr. Ian Ketterer. Yeah!
He's a bully. He's a bully. Bully.
You bully. This next kid, man, is I probably had more arguments with this kid than I've had with my own son. It's just been a battle all year, just up and down. Me and this kid has been up and down. Such an awesome kid. Great leadership skills. Stubborn, let me say stubborn at times, but once you get him turned on, I'd have to say that that he can really get the job done. Enough clues, didn't get any of it right, but that's all right, I'm gonna call him up. I'm looking forward to another season with this kid. I think we can do some incredible things. He get a handshake. That's what I'm telling y'all. Like, whatever.
The football spins around. The football spins around. I know, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah. This kid right here, I gave him a phrase from day one, and I hope he keeps this phrase all the way until he makes his $1 million and becomes a professional or whatever he does. But I told him that nothing in life comes easy. Enough clues with that. Let's call Mr. Simpkins on up. Come on up, Drew. Oh, he choked it.
Alright, Drew. Come over here. He says it all day, every day, too.
Let me tell you something. That phrase will get you a long way in life, man. It'll keep you humble. It'll keep you humble. This next kid right here, from the beginning of the season, I ain't gonna lie, I have to truly be honest, I thought it was gonna be a rough year with this kid. You know, just being honest, I thought it was gonna be a rough road. But one thing I can say about this kid, he refused to be in the bottom of the bottom three. He refused. You know, and I have to give it to Coach John. Every day after practice, we would ride home and he would tell me, man, this kid, you can see it, man. He's changing daily. And he just refused to be in the bottom, and I respect that, man. So come on up, Alan. They got it. Yeah, man, he just refused. Where is it? You got it? Got it.
It feels like you're like a professional sports.
Good job. Yeah. All right. Now this kid here can do a little bit of everything, and I knew it. But I just couldn't use him anywhere else because he was so important once I realized what he could do. He can catch, he can throw, he can run, he could probably be a pretty good quarterback, he could be a great receiver. His hands are phenomenal. But what he did for us this season was more important than anything. Running the ball, throwing the ball, blocking, or tackling.
Zane.
Y'all so before you can run an offense, what you gotta have first?
Center.
All right then. So y'all didn't hear me? I told y'all he can do everything, but the most important thing, listen to me. I'm not gonna say much about it, but that's the most important position on the offensive side of the ball in youth football. Because if you can't get the snap off, you can't play football. And bring Tucker on up. Tucker, come on. But his wardrobe stay fresh. Man, he got more Nike stuff than Michael Jordan himself, man.
The next is gonna be me. Ready? I'm doing it back over, man. Oh.
Only reason he knew that because he knew where his is at. But man, this dude here, man, is super talented. Man, this guy here is gonna be incredible too, man. One day, I really believe in high school. I gotta come back and see some of his football games. Hey, his style of football is gonna be like Johnny Manziel. I'm telling y'all, that's gonna be his style. He's gonna be wild, but he's gonna be phenomenal. And let's bring Manny on up. Come on. Good job, man. Who got you? Oh. This kid here, let's see if y'all can figure this out. This kid here had been asking me all season to call him a certain name. But hey, we'll talk a little later about it. I don't want to say too much right now, but yeah, this kid right here, from the beginning of the season, I rode him hard, yo. I rode him hard. But the reason I rode him hard is because I saw the potential in him. I saw the potential. I knew he could be a shutdown cornerback. I knew he could intercept the ball, and I knew he could stop him from running outside. And he finally proved that. Now, all I say is take it to the next level. You hear me? You hear me? Look, he got his Seahawks on. So, last but not, I don't say last but not least, but I introduce y'all to Richard Sherman right here.
Mini Richard Sherman.
This is Richard Sherman right here.
I'm going to marry you one day.
He excited.
I'm going to murder you, Richard Sherman, one day.
All right. All right, this kid right here. I've been watching this kid for about 3 years. I watch people put him on the defensive line. I watch people put him on the offensive line. And from day one, I always thought that his talents was something totally different. And I always told myself if I had ever had an opportunity to coach this kid, that he would run the football. And he did a phenomenal job this year, in his first year running the football. And I just look forward to seeing his future as he brightens running the football. And that's Jabari Roundtree. Come on. is a modern day youth Barry Sanders. You know what I'm talking about. If older people, you know who Barry Sanders is, you know how nice his footwork is. And you know, Barry was the type of guy that could run 5 yards, break down in one spot, take it to the left, and then take